2 videos ago we covered 7 ways to ensure no one likes or respects you, so now let's reverse the problem and cover 7 ways to ensure everyone likes and respects you. Number 1. Only speak when the other person has finished. Most of us had it drilled into us from a young age to listen attentively to others and to not be rude, and it turns out this was good advice. If you want the best chance at connecting with the person in front of you, you need to give them what they're starving for. Time and patience for them to explain the inner workings of their mind. Don't wait anxiously to say what you want to say next in excitement, potentially misconstruing everything they've just said. Instead, train yourself to not utter a word until the other person has completely finished whatever it is they're saying, exposing themselves in whatever way they see fit. This way, you'll be able to respond to what they've said fully, and you'll have trained yourself in the art of patience, whilst gathering valuable information for you to bounce off. Speaking of bouncing off another, 2. Put all the spotlight on them and their good qualities. When you do speak, get into the habit of not only learning people's names, but in putting most of the attention of the conversation on them. Notice a good quality in them? Express the vulnerability to bring it to their attention in the form of a label. It sounds like you're a charitable man. It seems like you're a very caring woman. It looks like you're a very dedicated young chap. Ask them open-ended questions about themselves which don't elicit a yes or no, flattering them with the opportunity to speak about their favourite topic. Them. If it's a stranger, open the conversation by asking them a question based on the location of where you're at. So what brings you here today? Well, I've always wanted to come to this museum, I've just never had a chance. That's hair, by the way. Jessica, just so I can understand you better, tell me, what is it about this place that interests you? And as you're listening, notice the parts of themselves they willingly share and those that they reluctantly expose. Because in a world where people are given enough reasons to hate themselves in comparison to others, you'll stand as a ray of light, shining a refreshing recognition onto the not so reprehensible parts of this human being. Number 3. Posture towards people when listening. When listening to other people, don't just cognitively listen, but somatically listen. In other words, show people you're listening with your body. Posture your shoulders so they're facing the other person. Maintain eye contact 90% of the time, delicately, not emotionally gazing into the recesses of their soul, indicating you want to do them. And do not, I repeat, do not do anything else while you're listening to them. Don't hold your phone, don't look around, don't sigh, and do not cross your arms, because at the slightest hint you might not be listening, other people will close themselves off to you. Last one about listening. Number 4. Listen to people like you listen to your favourite song. Bit more romantic, this one. People need time to finish their thoughts and conclusions they don't know they're aiming at. And in a world where everyone is going a million miles an hour with 4 rockets up their arse, limitless awe and respect is due for the person who can sit one-to-one with another and allow them to outpour all that they wish. Listening to others isn't easy, but if you approach each person as an undiscovered territory, a new world waiting to be explored, you'll have primed your mind to not only find value and interest in what they're saying, but you'll want to listen. 5. Label their pain. As the negotiation expert Chris Voss says, don't feel their pain, label it. Using the labels we mentioned at the beginning of this video, you must become a master at addressing the elephants in the room, taking them out of the person's head and into a safe space. If someone is visibly upset with what they're talking about, say, it seems this is a hard topic for you. If someone aggressively attacks you with their words, absorb their energy and pivot with, sounds like you feel I've offended you. And when, on the odd occasion you do cause someone pain, label it with, it looks like what I said hurt you. How can we best get past this hurdle? Make sure others feel you understand what they're feeling and that you know they have a right to feel whatever they're feeling, no matter how irrational. Number 6, be direct. No one likes passivity, whether it be while we're negotiating, arranging, cancelling a plan or on a date. So discard submissiveness and aggression and instead opt for assertiveness in order to help other people understand what's going on inside your head. Because remember, no one can bloody mind read. Scheduled an event with a friend for a week's time but you don't want to go? Don't ignore them, don't cower from their potential rejection, instead stand firm and communicate your wants clearly. Hi mate, I'm going to seem like a huge flake for this, but I can't make it next week. I honestly don't feel like going anymore and would prefer to just spend the day studying. I know I'm boring. If it's not too much of me to ask, can we rearrange? Because remember, life rewards the specific ask and punishes the vague wish. And if our date runs for the hills after we communicate our wants clearly, so be it. at least we've saved everyone some time, because as we learn from the School of Life, most of the people we deal with would far rather face frustration head on than be sold a fine tale and then have to suffer disappointment in gradual doses. And we discover the joys of simple communication when we can accept that what we want is almost never impossible for others to bear. It's the cover-up that maddens and pains. Lastly, number 7, talk about yourself with light-hearted vulnerability. To be liked and respected by others, how should you talk about yourself in conversation? Great question. To win the hearts of others, we must be willing to expose our vulnerabilities and our inadequacies. Because in a society where looks, money, ambition and status are thrown in our faces in order to depict others living the utmost life of splendour, our time can only be dedicated to those individuals who shed their bravado and show us we are alike in our human normality. Maybe with some light-hearted humour we choose to reveal our loneliness, how our mind won't shut up 24/7, how we don't get along with our family, or how we struggle to be ambitious when really all we want to do is sit in a room and read a book. And no, we don't have to share these vulnerabilities from a place of self-pity, but with a light-hearted appreciation for ourselves, nested in an understanding that despite everything, we are human, and we wouldn't want to be anything else other than what we are. Finally, expressing such vulnerability does put us in great danger. Other people could laugh, social media could have a field day, but that's the point. To allow others the opportunity to resonate with us, we must be willing to share those qualities about ourselves which, in the wrong hands, could be used to humiliate us. Because again, as we learn from the School of Life, friendship is the dividend of gratitude that flows from an acknowledgement that one has offered something very valuable to someone by talking. Not a fancy present, but something even more precious, the key to one's self-esteem and dignity. It's deeply poignant that we should expend so much effort on trying to look strong before the world when it's only ever the revelation of the somewhat embarrassing, sad, melancholy and anxious parts of us that is what makes us endearing to others and transforms strangers into friends. To reverse these points, check out this video here where we explored the 7 ways to ensure no one likes or respects you. Other than that, muchachos, ha sido un placer.